All right. Hello, friends. Hopefully, my earplugs are going to work. They have not yet connected. Maybe in a minute. Let's see. They are connected. And now they've lost the link. Let's see. Give me 1 second. Maybe they're still working. Maybe they're not. Let me check it by listening to something really quick. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's connected. All right, we're all back. So exercise, strength, mobility. I'm not in a Zoom room right now. I am just live streaming, which means I am going to do a workout that is totally for myself. And I'm going to shut some doors. I have one cat over there, another one in here. So this workout is a workout for me. And I need to do some leg stuff. I need to do some mobility stuff. I need to do some arm strength stuff. And I definitely need to do some flexibility stuff. So I'm just going to start inhaling, opening up, and exhaling, feeling into the space around me. Inhale, trying to lift my chest, arch my upper back, looking up, and then exhaling, feeling into the space around me. Inhaling, open. Exhale, let's shake it out on this one. Let it go. Maybe even more of a bounce. Just getting that lymphatic system moving. So you're moving lymph when you bounce, when you breathe. The deep diaphragmatic breathing is a lymphatic engager, activator. So big breathing. Inhale, open. Exhale, shake, shake, shake. The more you kind of give yourself rebound, the more you're going to get your bones to be stronger, the more you're going to get the lymphatic going. But if you're injured and you have to be careful, then be careful. But I am not. I'm going to get that bone density going by actually jumping. If you're not warm, don't jump. Listen to your own body. Use the intelligence of your own body. Twisting with a spiral and a pivot. And then I discovered this other way that I like to twist this morning. So I'm going to do a bunch of different versions. One of them is this, twisting and spiraling towards your leg, pivoting the back foot, looking all the way around behind you every time. Then the other one, flexing, turning towards that foot. And then the one that I discovered today feels really good is initiating with your butt. So your butt shifts over and then you spiral. There's a weight shift and there's some spinal snaking, right? We're mobilizing our spine in a more three-dimensional way when we're twisting from these types of positions, right? So butt shifts and then you follow. Then your knees are bent, my knees are bent. And it's very sort of relaxed and free flow, letting the centrifugal force fling your arms out. I'm going to change it, just coming up into a more straight one so that I really get the twisting up here in my thoracic spine, all the way through my head and neck. And then I'm going to take it down to the floor and forward fold, shifting from side to side. Mobilizing all the tissue in my body with this weight shift and fluid movement through my spine. And then I'm going to come in. You could bend your knees for this. I think I'll be bending and straightening. So if you're more tight, you're going to want to bend most of the time. Then I'm going to arch. And then I'm going to hollow around my spine, push with my hands and curl. And I'm actually going to lift up my feet as well. Heels are going to drop, stick out your butt, open your chest, arch, really reach with your tail. And then push, hollow, scoop in, curl, pushing up onto tippy toes. So I'm not trying to go for my deepest forward fold right now. I'm trying to be kind of in the horizontal plane with my body, with my torso. Arching and opening, pushing, hollowing, and curling. Arching and opening, hollowing, and curling. 2 more. I'm going to add something. I'm going to take my hands down, feet up and toes up. You can't see it on this foot, but feet up and toes up, hands up, and then hands down up onto the tippy fingers and tippy toes. So coming down, palm of the hand is on the floor. Let me just move that down again so you can really see what my hands and feet are doing. I'm going like this in the arch. So it's kind of like my hands are doing what my back is doing. And then fingers and toes touch. I'm going to come up to my tippy fingers, press all the way up. Heels down, heel of the hand down, arch, open, push and curl. Arch and open and push and curl and arch and open. I'm going to take this a little bit deeper and go into that squat. And from that position, I'm going to shift onto one leg and then shift onto the other. I am pushing my knees over my toes a little bit here, so I'm getting a stretch in my groin. And then I'm going to take one knee down, up, over, knee to the floor, up and over, knee to the floor, up and over, knee to the floor. I'm going to change it, knee to the floor. I'm going to take my foot down. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to just take it into this little bit of a stretch. But really what I want is to get into my body. So I'm going to open that up, come through, curl my toes under, shift it to the other side, knee down, toes down, taking it through, opening up, bringing it back, shifting around. Seeing if you can do this without using your hands on the floor. But if you need to use your hands on the floor, go for it. Listen into your body, right? Can you do this right now? Is this working? Does it make sense? It might or it might not, right? This is what makes sense in my body right now to get this hip, inner thigh, lower back. I'm going to stop it here. Not going to do a ton of those. Come into my little squat, and that's going to take me all the way to the floor. And I'm going to shift from side to side, rolling across one butt cheek and then the other. So easy mobility. Letting that spiral through my body. So in this spiral, I'm really feeling it in my gut body, in my intestines, in my organs. A little like wringing out. So if you're doing this work, you want to make sure that you are hydrating with water. If you start to move and exercise and you're cramping a lot, it might be that you're missing electrolytes, but it might just be that you're dehydrated. Yeah, and I'm doing this really for my organs to get that extra twist. And then I can kind of stay in there, and not a huge arch and curl, but a little bit of movement, sort of a smallish arch and curl, just taking it in. Same thing on the other side. It takes me a minute to feel into what I'm doing. There we go. And then coming back. So always listen to your own body as being the main source of intelligence, right? Not what you need to look like, but what you need to feel like inside, or what feels good, what feels right. And sometimes, things are more intense, but we don't want to be injuring ourselves with movement, right? You want to listen in, internal rotation, spiraling in. Listen into your body. Have an inner dialogue, an inner conversation about what feels good and right to your body right now. So I'm getting this inner spiral. I'm going to hook it, take it a little deeper. I'm going to do an arm circle with the top arm from that opened position, that internal spiral. Arm circling, nice gradated rotation through my rotator cuff. Just going to go in 3 in one direction and then 3 in the other way. So I'm not doing this for any kind of burn. I'm doing it to open up. And then switching to the other side. Same thing. Arm circling, letting your head follow your hand. Inhale, open, feeling the rib cage, lungs, and heart mobilizing. inside of this movement. And then change direction. 3 really is a magic number as far as like on a body level. Usually, if you do something 3 times, you've really gotten the chance for it to arrive fully in your body. Ha, and then coming in, pressing up. I'm going to circle in one direction, big circles. And then in the other direction. And I'm letting this massage out my shoulders and back up here. So I want to take the tension out of my body, not add tension as I'm working, just using what is necessary. Like, what do I need to push my pelvis up? Let me engage that. But then when I don't need it, I don't need to be holding on so much, right? So I'm not just moving with all my Captain Kirk tension. I'm letting it be free flowing and easy. Change directions a couple more times. And then bring it in. Let's take it up. You're going to draw one elbow underneath, come onto the side of your body, reach into an arch, and come back in. Open up. If you're more of a beginner with this stuff, take your time, right? Really go, what is she doing? Pause the video, look at it a few times. Whenever I teach this at the gym, I look around and I'm like, oh my God, what are they doing? So listen in, watch what it is. My elbow comes under, my knee comes down, the other arm and leg are sweeping back, right? I can do this even little movement. Adding arch and curl from that position if I want. Over to the other side, same thing. Coming in, I'm going to add that curl and arch. If this doesn't feel good to you, do not do it. At the same time, listen to your body. Last one. I'm really pushing the floor away with this bottom shoulder. One of the benefits of having like weight on your body like that is that is going to build more density in the bones. And also, you want to be pushing with that bottom muscle. You're not just kind of collapsing in, you're pushing up and out. Pushing, even just, let's just do that for a minute, just to get used to that. So coming up, pushing onto that arm, come down. Push onto that arm, come down. Push and come down. Push and come down. You can reach to get a big spiral. Come down, reach, and come down, reach, and come down. I'm leaving my pelvis up. You could bring it down every time, push out, come all the way down, push out, come all the way down. If you've never done that before, you're probably going to end up with some bruises, right? If your tissue isn't accustomed to contact in that type of way, you might get bruised. Anyway, so listen into your own body. I don't want to end up completely injured. Also, if you're very skinny, if you don't have that muscle, superficial fascia, like if you don't have the extra padding covering your body, you probably are going to bruise a lot more easily in that. I want to say it's like this crazy aesthetic that we have in our culture for these really skinny bodies. I don't know. I'm not trying to be judgmental about it, but, and arguably I have a pretty skinny body, but I also have a very hardy body. Like I can pop myself around and not get injured easily. So, I don't know, strength and resilience is much more important, I think. All right, we're going to do a version of the hundreds. Touch your toes to the floor, arms over your head. You're going to come up and then pulse with a shh. Inhale, exhale up to the ceiling. Shh. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale up. Shh. Inhale, exhale up. Shh. Deep breath in, like you're breathing in with your hands filling up your lungs. 2 more. Last one. And relax for a second. Just drop your head down, turn from side to side. So I had a show last weekend and I had not much sleep and I had like a lot going on in my life, like bang, 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 all super busy the whole time. And I had a couple of days where I just did a lot less. And I'm finally feeling like, oh, my energy's back. Sometimes it takes a while, right? So that was pretty much 3 days of a lot of recuperation. Still did things, but I wasn't charging around like a maniac. All right, I stayed entirely home for at least 2 of those days. Legs up, or almost entirely home, circling with the legs, big circles. Head off the floor or on the floor, whatever feels good to you. I'm gonna flex up and point down. Usually I do it the opposite, but for now, flexing, feeling that length up the back of the leg, reaching out, pointing all the way down. Oops, flexing up, pointing down, flexing up, pointing down, flexing up, pointing down, flexing up. Open it out to the sides, hands behind your head. Flex your knees and ankles, reach and point, crisscross, beat, beat, open, flex, reach it out, crisscross, open, flex, extend and point, beat, beat. Ideally, you're alternating whichever leg is going in front. Beat, beat, open, flex, reach, crisscross, open, flex, reach, crisscross, open, flex, reach, beat, beat, open, flex. Really actively reach here. So if I don't really reach, I'm like here, but if I really reach, I can get further open. See that? So you want to stretch your muscles to open them and then beat, beat, right? So we're working into this very open position and then we're engaging on the beat, beat. Open. Most people don't need to be super open in their inner thighs. Stretch, 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 crisscross. And take your nose into your knees, grab your spine. We're going to internally rotate both legs. Just reach one leg longer and then the other. So we're getting all of that tissue, all of that adductor, inner thigh, quads, hamstrings to have more three-dimensional movement just by lengthening from here. Also, we could think that inside our body, we're lengthening our psoas. Feels really good. Also, if you're working out and you feel like, put your hands on sometimes, feel what happens. If I just do this little teeny bit of internal rotation, I can feel a lot of activity down there in my sacroiliac, in the fascia around there, in the bones and muscles, in the organs. So if you want to know what's going on, you have to be curious and go, what is going on? What am I feeling there? What's moving? And you might be surprised at what you start to notice. All right, let's take a quick happy baby pose. Let your baby be playful. Breathe into it. Wiggle around. We're going to go from that, since we just did a whole bunch of inner thigh stuff, to a really opening inner thigh thing. So I'm going to start flexed feet. I'm going to think of my back and my feet doing the same thing. So my feet are really flexing, my legs are flexing. I'm going to really arch my back. I'm going to take it down as far as I can go, and then I'm going to point and scoop. My pelvis pulls back so my legs aren't as extended as they were or aren't as open, and I roll it up. Flexing, opening, taking it all the way down, point, scoop, and roll it up. Flex, arch, open, moving down, point, scoop, and roll. Radiate away from center, open, open, open. Hollow and curl. Arch, open, open, open. Hollow and curl, changing direction. Diving down, rounded, radiate out, reaching through your spine, flex your feet. Come tall through the top and then around your spine, taking it forward. Lengthening out, reaching through your heels. Open, open, open. Tall over the top, point, round, scoop. Lengthen out, arch, open, point. Radiate out. I'm just going to show you what that looks like sideways on my body. So in the flex, the first one, I'm arching. I'm thinking the front of my chest, reaching forward. So it's not my head back here. There's like a curve that's from my tail to my head, but it's not breaking necessarily in the neck. Taking it forward, 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 and then point, scoop. My tail goes back. I'm rounding my spine to come up. flexing, arching, opening, 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 and then pointing and curling. The other way, I am taking it down, rounding. Then I'm lengthening out, flexing, arching, lifting, and opening. Pointing, scooping, curling in, rounding my spine. Then lengthening out, arching, and opening, and bringing it in. I'm going to give them a bang, let all that tissue get loose and neutral again. And then we're going to take it into a downward dog. Just reaching up in your dog. Reach through your tail. You can walk through your feet. I like to really let one hip drop and then the other. Looking under one armpit, looking under the other. I feel like for me that gives me the biggest release in my hips that I can get in downward dog. All right. So let's mobilize through our spine first. You're going to lift your heels high, scoop your belly in, around your spine, roll it forward, find your plank. Let's take it all the way down. Push through, coming up to your chaturanga. Drop your head, round your spine, up and over and lower your heels. Heels lift high, scoop your spine, roll it forward, all the way forward. Find your plank, connect, take it down. Push forward and through, and then around to come back and up. Lower your heels. Heels, hollow, scoop, roll it forward. Roll, take it down, push through. Round and roll it up. We're just going to do one more of those. Heels high, vertebra by vertebra. So the first thing, heels lift. I scoop in my belly. My tail starts to curl. It rolls through, rounding, 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 and then lengthening out. I find it, pushing back through my heels, all the way down, up. I'm going to leave my knees on the floor here. Bend my knees. Take this in. I'm going to sink a little bit in my shoulders. I can push up, sink down, and then take it back. Child's pose, looking under one armpit, looking under the other, and then pushing down a little bit with my hands. So there's connection, but not super tense overactivity. All right, we're going to do some more stuff here. I think we're going to do, I'm going to make it up as I go along, the sequence, but I'm just trying to figure out what I want in there. I want some big sort of rond de jambe stuff. I want some in and out with a three-legged dog. So, but first, let's actually do this. Just elbows to the floor, come up onto your tippy fingers, lower the heels of your hands. Elbows down, up, tippy fingers, lower, down, up, push through, down, up. Two more. Last one, you're going to stay up and you're going to internally and actually let's do this with your hands down. Internally, externally rotate your hands, your elbows. Internally, externally rotate your elbows. Come up to your fingertips. Internally and externally rotate your elbows. Circles through your shoulders. You could do this from your whole hand or your fingertips circle the other way. So what that would look like sideways is this. I'm letting a little bit of a wave move through my spine, but mostly I'm trying to get that circle in my shoulder blades. Interlace your fingers. Try to pull your hands apart, but use your fingers to hold. Take your arms up over your head. Mobilize. Rib cage, lungs, heart, shoulder blades, scapula, also known as, and your clavicle, collarbones moving. Change direction, other way. Breathing. And then shake it out. Okay, now let's go across the back of the hands. Push your hands together. You're going to open out, bring it through. Opening it out, bringing it through. Open it out, bring it through. Open. This is a good like anti-device movement, all of this type of stuff. Okay, now we're going to do the downward dog with the leg thing that I was talking about. So let's start coming into our big Three-legged dog, stretching it up, reaching your heel down to the floor, leg up to the ceiling, take it out to the side. Let's take it forward. Bring it back up, hit the ceiling, bring it into your chest. Bring it back up as high and open as you can, take it out to the side, bringing it forward. Push and bring it up. Knee into your chest, crossing under. Reach it up. Third one, out to the side. Bring it up, knee to your shoulder. This time you're going to put that foot down, open up. Open, open, open. Let's take a big circle with that top arm 3 times in one direction. Where have I seen this before? And 3 times in the other direction. We're going to take the bottom leg through. So I'm going to move my top hand out of the way a little bit. I'm going to have kind of a wide space between in here. Stepping through, stepping back. 1, step it through, step it back. 2, step it through, step it back. 3. Taking my hands back down. I'm going to kick the leg back up and release. Switching it to the other side. Leg is going to go as high as you can. Take it up. Take a second to really get that stretch. Get the bottom heel down, top leg up. And then taking it forward. Pressing it back up. Knee to your chest, center. Press it back up. Leg out to the side, coming forward. Press it back up. Crossing it under. Pressing it back up. Out to the side. Press it back up, knee to shoulder. Foot goes down. Arm goes up. Big circles, 3 in one direction. 1, 2, 3, and the other way. 1, 2, 3. Bring your hand in, your foot. Bring your hand out and foot out because we're going to step through. This hand's going to stay up. You're going to go through. 1, 2, 3. Take it back up to the ceiling and bring it down. And have a second of breathing and relaxing. Let's do the figure 8s with your hands. So think of your thumb leading in, thumb leading out, leading in and out. Feel the relationship of your thumb to your pinky through your fingers. Give it all a shake. Let everything get loose and easy. And then coming up onto your feet, we're going to do a little bit of plie and maybe even some tendu, just for the interest of getting your legs going a little bit more. So I'm going to hold the space. My feet are just a little wider than my shoulders. Here's parallel. Here's 180. I'm going for something that's manageable. Knees over the toes. Coming up, I'm going to plie one way, push off that leg, open it up. Knees over the toes, come up, plie, push to your on one leg and open it out. Down you go. Come up, bend, come all the way onto your legs. See if you can get all the way there. Balance, open it up. Knees over your toes, come up, plie, push, find it, reach it out. Knees over your toes, come up, plie, push, open it back out. Knees over your toes, come up, plie, push, open it out. Knees over your toes, come up, plie, push onto that leg, open it out. So last one. And come in. You're just going to do a circle on one side and then the other. So it's like you're doing this little butterfly thing. I mean, I guess this doesn't look anything like a butterfly, but it feels like we're going in the shape of a butterfly to me. Use your breath. Shake everything out, loose and easy, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Let's just do one more thing down on the floor, maybe one or two. I'm gonna make this a short one. We're gonna go from forearm plank and we're gonna kind of walk through. So it's gonna be a forearm plank. Just need to blow my nose. Forearm plank into a side plank with some walking. So you're down there on the floor in your forearm plank. You're gonna cross one leg under, and then the other leg comes across, open up. The sun is shining in my eyes, it's glorious. Bring it back in and under. Cross, open, in, and down. Cross, open, in, down, cross, open, in, down. We're gonna add to this. You're gonna come up, come down twice, up, down, cross, open, in, center, up and down twice, up, down, down, up, down, down, cross, open, bring it in, again, up, down, down, up, down, down, cross, open, bring it in. Lead with the arm that you're going towards. That's it. Bring it down to the floor. Bend your knees. Really relax your butt, relax your tail, let it go. And then opposite arm to leg. Inhale up, exhale down. Use your breath. In through your nose. Relax for a second. We're going to do regular swimming with a pumping breath. So the pumping breath is big diaphragmatic breathing. It's a big huff and puff. Off we go. Inhale the whole thing up, float it around like you're flying. Take your hands next to your chest, arch and open, look. You can try looking down and looking up. And if that feels okay. And then take it back. Soften and melt. So this is a more intense exercise class that I'm doing today. I would say this is a more advanced one. It might not be the right one for you. So listen into your own body. I'm saying that a little late in the game, I realize, but we want to make sure that we're not pushing ourselves. If you're like 23, go for it. Push yourself. If you're 33, start to think about it. If you're 43, really listen to your body. And if you're 53, you have to be in this dialogue all the time. If you're 63, even more so, 73, like listen in. We want to push ourselves, but we also want to be listening to the feedback loop. If it's too much, and sometimes we only find where the boundary is after we've broken it, right? After we've injured ourselves, after we went too far. Oops. So we want to start to learn from past mistakes and listen as we're on the journey. All right, we're going to do push-ups with side plank. So I'm going to do actually elbow into my side, tricep push-ups with my knees on the floor. You're welcome to do these with your knees off the floor, but if you do them with your knees off the floor, make sure you do a knee drop in between. So I'm going to do a push-up, press up, side plank, down. You could knee drop and pop your knees back up, but try to get them down at least at one point within this. Using your breath. One more time each side. Coming in. We're going to do a quad stretch here. It might be wise for you to lay on your back, pull one leg in, this version where you're on your back. I'm going to do a more intense one. You could also do this with one leg. Maybe I'll do that one leg at a time. So I'm just going to take one leg out, one leg in, slowly making my way down to the floor and breathing into that. If it's too much, take it onto your side. And then I'm going to switch it around, the other side, same thing. Yeah, so I can kind of move myself around to get more of a stretch. Like I feel like here, not a whole lot is happening. When I center myself a little bit more, I get right up the middle of my quad. So you want to listen into your body. I'm moving my pelvis just so I can feel into that a bit more. I'm also just going to take a release on my back, just opening up my lower back again because my sacrum can get really tight doing that. So I'm letting that go. And then I'm going to go with both legs. So this may or may not be for you. You could also put something up, a bolster up under your back. As I said, this is a much more intense class today because I'm really doing it for myself, taking it down. And I've been going kind of easy on it for the past, since my show. And I haven't been a pole class in forever, so I'm like, I just need to get a bit more of a workout today. Breathing into it. And again, here, I can just move my pelvis a little bit to feel into that stretch. And then I'm going to take it the opposite way. Just coming into a child's pose, surrendering. And I'm going to let myself move a little bit in here as well. I can send ripples and waves through my spine. Breathing deep down into my belly so that my diaphragm is really pushing down into my guts. And then shifting to come up. I'm just going to end with a quad stretch. And I said a quad stretch. We just did the quad stretch, a hip stretch. So I'm going to go with knees, one knee over the other knee in this position. I find that this is a great way to reintegrate your own energy, like bring it back in. So coming in little circles or freeform shapes in my body. Right when we're crossed, we're protecting the front of ourselves, right? We're protecting our guts and organs, but it's a great way to come back in, to recall your own energy. If you're feeling scattered, bring it in, cross it over, hang out there. Changing directions if you haven't. Breathing into it. And then unscramble. Give a little bang. Rotate in and out. Switch it to the other side. Same thing. You can also do this with your knee straight underneath you. Every day is a different day in your body. And listening into your own energy level. Sometimes we want to push it, right? But sometimes we also want to go, oh, I can really honor what's going on for me right now. Give myself the time to recuperate before I go blasting off into the universe again, right? Sometimes we really need time where we're not spending our energy outside, but we're bringing it in, gathering our own internal resources. I don't think I even folded forward on the other side, but I need to on this one. Yeah, this hip is still a little janky. And then coming up, unscrambling, give a little bang, soften everything up, rotate in and out. We're just going to go with our knees today. So I'm going to take my thumbs inside, right up here. Let's move the camera down so you can see what I'm doing. Get a little closer. Right here, just above my knee. And I'm gonna just massage in that area on both sides. And I'm kind of pulling up and towards me. If that doesn't feel good, if you feel like you need to push down and go the other way, do that. Listen to the tissue. It'll usually tell you what it wants. And I can feel the difference between my two knees. Like the two sides of my body are fairly different. So, and it's my right side that needs a little more attention. So I'm getting in there because to me, the tissue feels a little bit more dense. And I'm also going to get in here with my fingers, just going around the outside, a little bit behind, just feeling the whole thing. Which is going to take me down my front of my shin on this side. I think the best way to do body work on yourself is to kind of feel into it. If you find a spot that's really like painful, don't necessarily dive into that spot. Move around it a little bit more. But then like it's kind of good to do it without your thinking mind. Let your hands feel into it. Let your body kind of be the guide so that you're following what it feels like. Yeah, this right knee is definitely way more weird than my left one. So I got like a right knee thing, a left hip thing. It's like, it zigzags around in my body. All right, let's take it into just a forward fold. Give yourself some self-touch on a regular basis, right? Especially if you have injuries, like feel into them, know what's going on with them in whatever way the information comes into you. Slide your heels underneath you. You're gonna take your knees toward the floor. If you need to stand straight up there, go ahead, and then heels towards the floor. So it's a little squat. Forward, stretching out your feet, and backwards, calf and Achilles. Also think of, if you can, letting the weight of your body, so I'm coming down, the weight of my hamstrings is dropping into my calves, right? The weight of my body on top of my calves is also giving a massage through my body as I move forward and backward. And if I take it slow, my body can receive it better. And then you're going to take your butt up to the ceiling, shift from side to side again, let it go. Hang down. Coming in, rolling it all the way up to the top. Inhale, open. Reach out and up. Just reach longer through one side and then the other. Feel that all the way down as if you're reaching from your fingertips into your foot on one side and then the same thing on the other. And then we're going to twist it a little bit, just a little twist with that reach. And relax, shake it out. Inhale, open. Exhale, let it go. I think I've made it through this entire live with actually no one watching the whole thing, but hopefully some of you will catch it on the replay. If you do, please like and subscribe. If you want to support my work, become either a Patreon subscriber or buy me a coffee, anything like that, because one does not get rich here. Like I'm doing this for me, I'm doing it for you, but it is not making me wealthy yet. So that is my invitation. Give me some money. Thank you.